Now, many times you may run into situations where you've used a sound effect and you're like very happy with that sound effect. And let's say we've duplicated it. And at this point, maybe it's like, okay, I used the wrong gunshot or the wrong door sound, but I've used this sound effect, let's say 100 times in my project. All I would have to do if I wanted to replace the sound is just come right here and hold down the shift key, and it'll ask me if I want to actually replace all the sounds with the new material. So I'll say yes, and it's taken every one of the old sound effects and replaced it automatically and kept the length the same on our new sound effects. So if you have to replace multiple sound effects, just drag and drop, hold down the shift key directly over another file. Now, if you wanted to quickly do like something simple like transposition, I wanted to come here. I have this sound and I just want to be able to transpose it. We could just select the event, go into our transpose value here in our timeline, and without having to process it, we could just say, okay, now we're transposed it down an octave. Or I wanted to transpose it down 2 octaves. It's that simple. Now, there's a number of offline processes that we could do. And while a lot of programs, these are considered destructive, with these offline processes, what I could do is actually just go to, I could even select just a range of my files here. So I'll grab my range selection tool. We'll select that range. I'll sneak down here to my processes. And let's say, okay, I just wanted to do a fade out. And again, I could have my own stereotypical fades, or if I wanted to make my own fade outs, we could do that. So I processed that fade out. Let's say now I want to do another process that reverses this. So we could reverse that file or just that portion of the file. And let's say I wanted to run it through something like a plugin. One of the great plugins that's included with Nuendo 7 is the Quadrifuzz. It's a multi-band distortion plugin, and you could have delays on different bands. So you could preview what it would sound like or just process it. At this point, I wanted to do one more process. And let's say I want this to do pitch shifting directly here. And here I could set my ranges. I could do a straight transposition, or I could do an envelope where I could do my range of semitones. So I could have that handled right there. And let's say at this point I'm done editing. I've stored the project. I've uploaded it on a network, or I've given it to someone else via a hard drive, and they didn't like my particular processing that I've done. We can now come over here and go to the offline process history. So I can see here's my fade out, the reverse, the Quadrifuzz plugin, and this works with any VST plugin, my pitch shifting. And let's say they just wanted to get rid of the reverse. So instead of having a straight linear undo history, I could remove just a reverse without affecting the fade out, the Quadrifuzz, or the pitch shift. So I'm going to remove that. And what we have now is those different effect chains, and that's even after saving the project. Now, if you find that you have particular processing for different projects where you use the same chain, you can now save this as a batch. So we could say, okay, this is great for bomb sounds, and that's my batch process that I could call up at any time. So as you can see, whether it's placing sound for audio, being able to find your media files, being able to quickly replace them, or being able to do great processing capabilities of pitch shifting and batch processing with the offline process history, Nuendo 7 is a great tool for sound designers.